Thank you. Representative Burke, thank you for bringing this bill forward. And I will say, just as I start off, there are some provisions in here that I think we like, but I think you're also hearing the frustration from our side that we need to go a lot farther. So I have a few questions. First of all, let me look at my notes here. On page 34, we're changing the fundraising during session days. And so currently, well, the prohibition, could you explain what the prohibition would be on the fundraising during session days?
So the prohibition would prohibit fundraising during session anywhere. You may not hold, and I'm going to clarify that, you may not hold a political fundraising function during session or the day immediately prior to such day.
Day before and day after, correct?
No, just the day before.
Okay, gotcha. And so that applies to whom?
To legislators and the executive.
So executive branch and legislators
and constitutional officers.
And any committees associated with those positions.
Yeah, any candidates.
So let me ask you a question, and you just happen to be the sponsor of this bill. There are several mayors in these two bodies who have campaign funds. So it is my belief, reading this legislation, that any of the mayors in here, since they have separate campaign funds, could actually have a fundraiser in Springfield or anywhere in the state on a session day and accept campaign contributions, and then maybe the next day transfer them over to their own state funds. Is that correct?
I don't believe so.
What are the offices that are spelled out in this section?
Well, we're
it's page 34.
Any political committee on behalf of the foregoing. So that would apply to anyone.
But any political committee on behalf of the foregoing of the person for that office.
No, that's not what it says.
I guess we have a difference of interpretation here.
If you want clarification that it includes anyone who holds any other office that's elected, I think we could probably do that. I don't think the intent is to have the clarification.
Okay.
I believe.
I don't think that's
clear,
exactly what it says, but
I believe that's clear. But if you need
I've got 2.5 minutes, so let me. So there's another point here about individuals who are compensated and require Senate confirmation. What about people who don't require Senate confirmation that still have campaign funds, like maybe former members of the General Assembly that are working as deputy governors, who have hundreds of thousands of dollars in their campaign accounts and getting paid money on the side from East Jackson Street LLC along with their state money as well?
Just 1 second.
Just 1 second, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, I'm just pulling up the language. Just give us a sec.
So while you're looking that up, let me just say that since I have a minute and a half, we have the Louis Arroyo loophole continues here in the General Assembly. Representative Arroyo, who sat on the executive committee, who advanced gaming interests and for sweepstakes as a member of the General Assembly, he was a registered lobbyist in the city of Chicago as well. That will continue. We actually had the chairman of the Senate Appropriations Committee standing right back here earlier tonight. He is a registered lobbyist right now for the city of Chicago today. That won't change. As a member of the General Assembly, he was standing right back here earlier tonight before the debate on this bill. So how are we going to address that too? A couple questions for you.
So let's go back to your original inquiry, which I believe was
deputy governors who have campaign funds and other people who work for, I guess, people who are not Senate confirmed but still who have campaign funds.
So I guess I'm just trying to wrap my head around what you're suggesting. Are you suggesting that anyone who works for the legislative or executive branch who also somehow has a campaign account should not be allowed to have that campaign account?
I didn't
what's
write
your
this bill.
suggestion?
You wrote this bill.
But I'm asking you-
You specifically called out people who are Senate confirmed. There are people who make literally $300,000 working for the governor who aren't Senate
Representative Butler,
confirmed.
please bring your remarks to a close.
Who are not Senate confirmed to the bill, Mr. Speaker.
Rep
To-
Butler, we're not opposed to that, and it wasn't something that was flagged for us, but, the bill doesn't go into effect until January, and we do have some work to do in the not-for-profit space over the summer, so that was not an issue that was flagged by your side, but originally, but I would be happy to
I don't
work
think
with
we
you
knew
to
it
address
was
that.
coming up. I don't know. Yeah.
All right,
So
thank you,
to
Representative Butler.
the bill. To the bill, Mr. Speaker. Look, I'm going to vote for this. I think a lot of my friends are not going to vote for this. I'm going to vote for this. I don't like it, but it's one step in the right direction. You do have some of the things that we like. Representative Murphy has had a bill, Representative Jimenez had it, to make sure that legislators who work one day of the month, which we have seen recently, only get paid for one day of the month. I think that's what's in this legislation. You have my bill to rein in members of the State Board of Elections who try to do nefarious things with their campaign funds when they get on the State Board of Elections. I appreciate that. There's a lot more work to do, though, and I think that's what you hear in our frustration tonight, that there's a lot more, and you just acknowledge that there's a lot more work to do. So I hope we continue in a bipartisan, collaborative fashion, not with bills dropped in the middle of the night at the end of session with, debating it with less than 3 hours to go, that we actually work as a team on this stuff, because I think we all want to get to the same place. So let's work as a team on this, and let's get it done for the people of Illinois. Thank you.